Hello and welcome to the Self-Storage Association Asia interview with Jack Parents, the General Manager of Janus International Asia. We're meeting today in the Lock and Store facility in Singapore that is beautifully outfitted with Janus International lockers to talk about access control and about why it's so important to stay on the leading edge of technology. Jack, thanks for taking the time to sit down today. To kick off, can you just give us a 30-second story on who is Jack Parents?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Andrew. So my name's Jack Parents. I'm the General Manager of Janus Asia. I've been with the company in all of its forms since about 2010. Following my university studies, went into the world of corporate real estate and existed there for about 5 years, and then came back to manage the Asian business in 2018.
Wow. So you've probably seen a lot of companies rise and probably even seen some companies fall behind because they weren't keeping up with technology. Access control is a vital part of that. And I know that you guys have some new products that are being deployed in Asia right now. The Noki system. What is the Noki access control system all about? What makes it special?
Typical access control system in many ways. However, it does enhance the capability of many operators to allow for lower staff levels and a more user-friendly interface when you're onboarding and then managing the client going forward. Things like payment accessibility, key sharing capability, which has not really existed in the market before, are all drastically going to change the way that self-storage operates in the future.
Okay, so my understanding is that the Noki system primarily allows people to access their units through their phone.
The obvious trend that we're seeing worldwide is that everyone uses their phone for everything now. I mean, everyone's got a smartphone. It's difficult to find someone who doesn't, particularly in Southeast Asia, in this part of the world. It's a very tech-savvy part of the world. It's very commonplace to see people using their phone to, book taxis, shop, just in every way dictate their life.
So customers really expect their access to be able to change. They want to be able to use their phones to access their units. How does it help operators if they can offer this to their customers?
So from an operator's perspective, it reduces onboarding time particularly. I mean, if a Noki system allows you to get your onboarding down to sub 2 minutes, whereas previously it was a half-hour ordeal sitting at a desk with someone in a facility, whereas now you can book it as you would an Uber. The operating methodology of the business, it really helps, plus payment terms. Where it used to be a delinquent pay would show up at their facility on a Sunday night, realise they were delinquent, not have access to their unit which had been double locked. The operator would then wait for the payment to come through and need to send someone out, meaning, on the very unlikely chance they can find someone on a Sunday night, the customer would have to come back the next morning. Noki allows you to do that sort of in real time, meaning that access is now granted back to the customer. So that's just a couple of the ways that which the Noki system will streamline the business and really enhance the user experience as well.
So when you bring the Noki system into a facility, do I need to change my entire physical infrastructure to match it? Or can you retrofit it to you've already got a beautiful location like the one we're in right now. Can you retrofit it to a pre-existing site?
Yeah, and it would be extremely easy to do so. I mean, a facility like this with existing electrical infrastructure, security infrastructure already in place with the cameras, and site management already available. All we would need to really do would just be to physically take out the manual recess latch and retrofit a Noki unit onto it, because it's completely unwired. The mesh system would essentially build itself.
Okay.
And yeah, the facility will be up and running probably within 1 or 2 days.
How about the back-end IT system? Do I need to change my entire IT infrastructure as well, or can I connect my Noki system to my existing system?
Yeah, so we've got APIs available with our product, meaning that we're already adapted with all the self-storage management systems, payment systems. You would literally just need to attach it where a previous access control system was.
You've got the system retrofitted onto your doors, looks great. You've attached it to your IT, fantastic. How is it going to help you in your operations, or even eventually to help you get more customers?
So obviously with onboarding now happening online in a much reduced time frame, you've now got a lot more human resources that you were once allocating to that process. You can now direct straight to marketing or sales.
I think some people might have the misperception that there's such a thing as an electronic skeleton key that you can get in and out of the locker, but I understand that's not true.
No, for this product, it was very important that the operator not have the onus on them to sort of be responsible for a lot of the access to back-end customer units.
Sure.
As any operator will know, that the customers will have a tendency to potentially exaggerate what was in their unit on the off chance that it could have been opened by a third party. So no, we as Janus will have no access at all, and we couldn't be happier about that. The owners will have to go through a series of protocols outlined in their agreements that if they do need to go down that path, but generally speaking, access will need to be granted for a day-to-day operation by the customer, meaning that customers won't have the ability to come back and say, someone opened my unit without my knowledge.
Right, so it protects the customer because they feel secure because nobody has access to their locker, same as in a traditional system, but it also protects the operator because they can also show that they don't have access to the locker.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
The motion sensor on the back will give an indication to the customer the moment their unit has been opened. So should that door open, they'll be the first to know that there has been access to it.
Okay, so the electronic lock comes with some enhanced features. It is not just a lock, but as you said, if something happens in the locker, like if you said the door is forced open, the temperature changes, your system can detect some kind of an intrusion into the space, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So it's a motion heat sensor on the back.
Wow.
On a non-wired-in system. It means that it can't be tampered with from anywhere but inside the unit. Should someone enter in through the side of another unit, come in through the roof, where a normal system wouldn't pick that up because the door wouldn't have been opened. The Noki system will detect movement within the unit and be able to report that back. Now it can also tell the heat and the temperature within that unit as well, which will be delivered real time to the user's portal. So if a facility is unmanned and they start to notice increased levels of heat, potentially from a faulty air conditioner, or something like that, that will appear in the real-time information updates coming from the gateway system.
But what if my internet connection goes down at the facility? I mean, it could happen. Yeah, in some countries more often than others. What's your take?
You will need to get the information onto the cloud, into the portal, so that it can be updated in the system. But from a standard sort of minute-by-minute operating system, it really doesn't affect it at all. The Noki system is built with a Bluetooth mesh system, meaning that the locks will all speak to each other. So as long as you've got Bluetooth access on your phone, which won't be affected by Wi-Fi connectivity, the units and doors will open as per usual.
All right, well, Jack, I want to thank you for coming and talking to us. I'm Andrew, work at the Self-Storage Association. You've given us a really great insight into the Noki system, how it is going to take Asian self-storage to the next level, help make customers happier, onboarding easier, provide a higher level of security, and improve the efficiency of operations. Absolutely brilliant.
Thanks, Andrew. It's been a pleasure.
All right, man.